Hey everyone, Ken here. We're back with another lantern video. It's been a few weeks, I know. It's been really hot here, and I've been working very sporadically on this lantern, as you'll see from the last video. It's taken me like 3 weeks. I've been just doing a little at a time, but we got a finished product here. Now, if you remember, this thing was in pretty bad shape when I got it. Had the crown on with a wire, and the tabs were all folded over. I'll put some pictures up here of the original lantern. But turns out, look what we got here. We got ourselves a brass fount, and I kind of fooled myself on this one, because when I bought this I had no idea that it was even brass. But I decided to do kind of just a gradual cleanup. I didn't want to like shine it up and make it look, you know, real polished. I wanted to keep it just kind of antique looking. I did have to get a cap for it. I don't know if that's going to be the final cap. I was looking actually for a brass cap, but I have a cap. It works for now. But the top, like I said, was all wired together and everything, and it was in pretty bad shape. And put the crown tabs on, and I did do some video of my work, so if you stay toward the end and want to watch a few videos of how I went and restored it there, gives you some idea if you ever have to do something like that. But I'm actually pretty proud of it. I think it came out pretty well. If you can get a shot of it there, that's what it ended up. And I have to confess, I did have to cheat just a little bit, because the metal that I used was, of course, new metal, shiny silver metal. So I had to just mix up a little paint to match it to the rest of the lantern. But I think it came out pretty nice looking. It's a pretty nice looking lantern. Why don't we give it a light up here and see how it burns there. A really nice burner. And I did actually have a leak in it too. Had a leak where the brass was crimped. One of the crimp sections here, if you notice, there's a little dent. I think it was leaking there. So after I had it done, you know, a few days ago, I thought it was ready. Filled it up with some kerosene, and it turns out it had a pretty good leak. It put a pretty good ring right around the bottom. So had to throw a little seal all in there and wait. I waited a couple days to make sure that dried. And yeah, but there you go. I think it turned out really good. I got a really nice wide shaped flame in there, and had to do some bending. The globe guards were all out of sorts. I think I got those bent back into pretty good shape. But yeah, since I was gone a couple weeks, I think I owe it to myself to present another lantern that I got from the collection here. Look at this. Look at what I picked up. Now, believe it or not, I picked this up from my friend Rayo Rob. That's right. A lot of you guys that watch me probably watch him on the other channel, but it's not what it comes to. We're actually pretty good friends, and yeah, we talk to each other online, and I've talked to him on the phone. He's a really good guy. I'd like to eventually meet him one of these days. He's out in California. I'm in New Jersey, and of course that's about as far as you can be being in the US, but hopefully maybe we'll hook up one of these days. But he sold me this really cool Defiance Best Ever, and there's actually a pretty funny story to this. He bought it from another fellow collector. You know, it's kind of like a bunch of guys that we belong to, like a Facebook group, and actually, you know, on the YouTube videos and everything. But he apparently bought this from another friend of ours. He had it for a while, and it was actually missing the one of the I forget which one it is now. One of the guy, well, it should be the one with the fresh solder, because I had the solder. Was missing this, or is it that one? No, it's this one here. And this was actually manufactured by another friend of ours that we, a pretty close friend that we associate with. And but Rob never got around to fixing it, so he sent the part. I bought the lantern, and he sent the part, and I fixed the lantern. So it was kind of like a cool group effort, and turns out that I know all the guys that, you know, had this lantern over the pier. Well, of course, not the original owner. We don't really know where it originally came from, but it's a really cool lantern. It's a top lift. One of these ones that you slide, and it has the top lift, and then you tilt it back like this to light it. And well, give this a light. Really good, another really good burning lantern. Fantastic burning lantern. In fact, it's going, wants to go. It's ready to go. Yeah. And I didn't even clean the globe on it. It kind of has a somewhat dirty globe, but I think it does it justice to the lantern. I think I may just enjoy this one and leave it that way with the dirty globe. So yeah, I'll throw a link to Rayo Rob's channel for anybody who doesn't know Rayo Rob. He's the other lantern guy, and there's not a whole bunch of guys that do these videos. So we're two guys that do kind of like regular blogs, I guess, or vlogs as you would call it now, videos. But yeah, so that is a cool lantern. I'm really happy to have this piece here. Another great addition to my collection. So without further ado, say farewell, stay safe to everybody, and we'll go ahead and we'll play. I took a few videos of how I recrown this thing for anybody who's interested. But see you real soon in another lantern video. Bye bye for now. Okay, so we're back out here working on the Defiance, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to recrown it here. If you remember, it had a very strange wired crown on there, and it was flat. Somebody actually had bent the tabs all flat, and they drilled out a couple holes in it here, and then they just kind of wired it on. So what I've go ahead and done already is bent the tabs back up in their upright position, and what I'm doing is taking the Dremel here, and I'm going to Dremel the sides, the reverse sides of these tabs, in order to get them to be tinned with solder to hold the new crown tabs that I'm about to make. So yeah, so, and then I got to figure out, maybe we'll seal these holes up too. I don't like these holes. I'm thinking could probably solder them, but then I'd have to get all the rust. I'm probably just going to use some high heat epoxy on those. And the high heat epoxy, fortunately, is brown in color, and it may actually match the rust, because I'm not going to do a very extensive cleanup on this lantern, but we'll see how it goes. We'll come back to the next step here shortly. Okay, so we moved along to step 2 here. I got my trusty soldering iron out here, flux and solder, and I'm able to achieve a good tin. I don't know if you could see that, but all around the edges the best I can. I mean, that's the only flat that you're really going to get a hold of on these. The rest of the middle's kind of, if you can get it to focus there, the rest of the middle's kind of concave, and that's all you need. It's all you need is a good mechanical solder on just around the very edges, and that'll hold just fine. Now the next step is to well, I guess I got some flux residue on there, and I'm going to have to rinse it down and neutralize the flux so we don't get any further reaction with the metal, and then we'll be making some new tabs. So to neutralize the flux, I'll just be making a slurry out of some baking soda and a little bit of water here. Let's kind of try to do this while holding the camera here. A little hard, but yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and paint it all over real good, all over the flux residue, and give it a good hose down and dry. Can't really do that on camera while I'm holding it, so you'll just have to kind of bear with me for now, and we'll get back real soon here. Alright, so we got the flux all neutralized, we got the lantern all washed down and dried again, and we're ready to make some new tabs. So this is what I make my tabs out of. These you get at Home Depot, Lowe's, in the electrical department. They're called like old work box. They're for installing things. They're I'm not exactly sure. I've never actually used them for their intended purpose, but they're cheap. I think they're like, well, last time I bought them they were like $1 a piece or $1.25 a piece, but they work really good for making tabs. The metal takes solder really well, and you know, it's close to what you need. You gotta just trim them out a little bit, and you know, you use your metal snips there and cuts them real well. We just gotta measure them up and see how we're going to do it. We'll be back shortly. All right, guys, so we are back out here. It's been a week later since I've did the previous filming, actually, but now I can kind of stand the temperature out here a little bit. Boy, it was really hot, and another reason why you haven't seen me for 2 weeks. But yeah, look at that. I have successfully soldered on 4 new crown tabs, as you can see here on this lantern. Now, they're still not fully shaped. I'm going to have to fine tune them a little bit. I kind of just rough cut them out, and take my trusty old file here, and we'll shape these things accordingly, little by little, as how they go on to the crown. But there we have it. I mean, they're tight. They're on, they're soldered. They're nice and tight, and probably the next time you'll see is the lantern with the crown on.